What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. It's not a Wednesday, and we're going to be jumping back into Rugby 25. We had our next update of the 3 weekly updates. Now, technically, this came out yesterday. Of course, yesterday was a Wednesday. I have been so busy in my own actual life, the 9-to-5 job. I'm currently in the process of moving house, so if you see stuff behind me, that's why I'm sort of chaotically doing stuff. So my bad, I didn't think about it being a Wednesday. I didn't think about it being every 3 weeks. A few of the updates have not really hit me with, I can't wait for the next one. But, so, my bad for maybe missing out on that. But in that same breath, this update wasn't mentioned anywhere. I just assumed there was, no updates. I have alerts on my phone for Facebook, Twitter, for Rugby 25, Big Ant Studios, CEO Ross. This update is not anywhere. It's not even out on Steam. Like, you can't even see what the update is. So yesterday I went to bed at, 1 a.m. And thought, hang on, it was a Wednesday today. Did they actually do any updates? So I had a look on my phone, saw the FAQ page blowing up. And basically, the updates patch notes only came out on the FAQ page at like midnight over here in the UK. The update did come out, but there was no mention of it anywhere except for the FAQ page. Or if you guys have paid closer attention to it on the FAQ page than myself. So I have had a read through of some people's reactions to playing this update before I've even been able to get my hands on it. And I'm not going to preload it too much. But we could be in for an interesting one today. But we'll jump in, as we usually do, and get into it. I've got a couple of other things I want to talk about around sort of rugby gaming as well as we've gone through today's video. But let's start out with the patch notes. Now, this one did capture me by surprise because it's not very big. When we moved on to these 3 weekly updates and we heard, it's going to move to 3 weeks, gives us longer to put the more stuff in. And we have all that. And I was like, hey, you know what, I can get on board with that. Very big patch note, is it? But we'll have a read through. So we've adjusted the post-Ruck AI reaction timing based on difficulty. I already feel like the AI defensive line is already very fast and very organized compared to my own. So unless it means my own AI, I don't know what that means. I feel like we'll have to see that one. Added new AI plays. Okay. Hey, you know what? We're looking for it. They haven't specified set plays. I've seen a couple of things from J&T on the FAQ page where they've like they're kind of specifically avoiding the word set plays because I really just don't think set plays are going to be in this game. I don't know, but it doesn't really feel like it's coming after so long. So maybe just the way the AI is going to be playing and some of these different passes, we'll see what that's like. Added the broadcast camera. Now this was something that people have been asking for since early access 1, basically. Now, I've seen broadcast cameras in other games. Personally, I'm not a fan. However, when I do these videos, I'm trying to be honest, give my own opinion, but I also want to give, everyone else's views a chance. I don't like broadcast camera. I don't really like the concept of a static camera that sort of twists left and right and you can't really see the far corner. It's not even, I never understood the term. It's not how, like, you see a broadcast on television. If anything, I think the closest resemblance to what it is like to watch a game on TV is the side camera. I know a side camera doesn't actually happen in real life. There isn't a camera moving left and right, but they swap from camera angle to camera angle, close-ups and stuff. And the best way to sort of stay alongside the play is the side camera for me. We'll see what that's like because this one's not going to be for me. This is going to be for a lot of other people that have been requesting the broadcast camera. And for those people, I'm happy it is in. We'll put it on today. We'll get a feeling. I'll give my honest opinions from my standpoint, but if you're into your broadcast cameras, you might really love this one. Corrected ruck actions preventing additional participants. I don't think I ever had that. Preventing additional... I don't think I ever had that as a thing. And then improved stability. Now, 5 points for 3 weeks was not a lot. But you will see down the bottom here that they've added in like a little addendum saying that several additional items did not meet the cutoff time for this update. We will be releasing another update in 1 week so as to include them. So, you know what? I don't mind this. Okay, they've put out a smaller update than maybe they were hoping to, but the reason they've done that is because the stuff that they've planned to go into this one didn't meet the expectations just before cutoff time. So they're going to do another one next week. Well, now I know it's next week. I can pay attention to it next week. But I don't mind that if it's like, I'd rather it not come out than come out and be broken. And they're giving themselves another week to put it out. It'll be 4 weeks till then. We'll have to see what that impacts the next 3 weeks. Will it then be 3 weeks after that? Or will it be 2 weeks after next week's one? I don't know. They don't mention what is in that, but I know they were still looking at stuff to do with the Women's World Cup, which is going to be over by the time this is in. Similarly to what we had for the Men's World Cup, right, for 2023. But you know what? We're staying on theme in the world of Rugby 25. So let's jump in and get into it, because there's not a lot to test necessarily. We kind of want the AI to have the ball, if anything. We're going to be testing their reaction time and their plays, and then my camera. So really, we kind of want them to have the ball for the majority of the game. Let's go over to camera then. Side camera is what I play on. Broadcast camera, I'll leave it on the field of view that I've got it on, and see what it's like. We can change it in game. If not, I kind of want them to have the ball a lot. I kind of want them to do some stuff. Let's go as a lower rated team. There we are, Samoa versus New Zealand. That's a big gap differential in the ratings in this game. We'll keep it on hardest. Alrighty, so let's see what we've got going on. So we're going to be looking at this new broadcast camera. That'll be very instantaneous in our faces. We're going to be looking at how the AI is using their new plays. Now, I've played a lot with New Zealand because of doing the Rugby Championship games and stuff, so I'm sort of aware of what I'm looking for with the way New Zealand already played in this game, so I should hopefully be able to see a difference. I did also play a couple of games in the last week or so. I've been testing a couple of things in the background myself, and I did actually hear some new things around the stadium, some new like chants and some different stuff, and I thought that was quite nice. I've also got a lot of custom players, of course, by the way, as well for this New Zealand team, because I've been doing the Rugby Championship games. So I don't know how custom teams will be affected, or custom players in teams will be affected. Hopefully not too bad. Have been noticing a lot more of the player names staying on screen for longer, and even coming back after they regain the ball. Oh dear God. Well, that's right, guys. We can watch the game from the International Space Station. I hope you. What a bullet pass! Let's keep going. Now, like I said, I'm not a fan of broadcast camera because I find it a little bit weird to sort of... I mean, don't get me wrong, from this field of view I can see everything as we make the break through the line. What does everyone think of this camera soda? Let's go for a little kick over the top. Where's my winger? Where is my winger? Whoa, nearly getting on the end of that. Let me have a little adjustment of the field of view here, see if that makes it better. I don't like being that high up. I mean, that's field of view low, right? Do I want field of view high? I'd have thought high field of view meant more field of view. I don't know anymore. Let's have a look. Let's change that and see how that feels. Why are the posts see-through? Oh no, they've gone back to the way they were. Is this any different? This feels the same. I can't see anything. I mean, I'm wrong, actually. I can see everything, but, like, it's so small. I don't know how this looks on the video. You guys might not even be able to see the game. I might have to test this. I'll go back the other way and see if that makes it any different. Let me sort of break through the line here. I forgot what we're doing. I'm just messing about. I forgot that AI are meant to have the ball so that they can actually sort of mess around with it. Yeah, it's really far away. Let me go very close and see if that makes it better. It is better. Oh, that's an interesting trick play there from the box kick. Okay, well, so far the AI plays have just been... Wasn't the pass I chose, but we'll make it work. Okay, let's see how they get out of this situation. Now, from here, what I'm wanting to see is a box kick to touch or a fly half to kick it to touch. They still just kick it in play. Will Jordan on the end of a catch. Okay, that's nice. I didn't necessarily mean to steal that from them, but that was nice that they actually got someone on the end of the kick. They really... I'm very surprised people like playing broadcast camera. I feel... I don't know. Something about this feels very, like... Feels like I'm playing a different game. I'm so out of words of what to even say about this camera, because I'm just personally not a fan of it. But I can see other people maybe liking it. It's kind of an in-between of the side camera or the end camera, because you get to have a little bit more view of everything. There's a one-off play. Let's test the AI play. We want to see what the AI is going to do. A box kick again. I might let them get out of their 22. Hang on, let me give them the ball back. Outside their 20. I'm a little bit bored of how often they're box kicking, but also not doing anything with it. I've committed no one to that. Oh. Oh. So if you commit no one to a ruck, you'll just lose it. Okay, good to know. I tried to specifically give that to them. They had 5 players in that ruck. I added no one, and they didn't get a turnover. Felt like that was a massive opportunity for them to do something, but okay. Scrums. Let's see how they're going to play off the back of the scrum. Now, recently, the AI just sort of stands there with the ball. He did a bit of a run. Did do a bit of a run. Right, we're in the midfield now. Come on, New Zealand. What have you got up your sleeve? As we play out the back. Okay, that wasn't great, but let's see what they do for the second one. Yep, down this left-hand side, pass back inside. Now that is something that AI do a lot. I mean, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. They just pass once to the left, wait to get tackled, then pass back right. It's the same thing. What about their alertness after... Oh, man. Is this a good camera angle? I honestly, like... Do people play like this? I find it very, very... Especially when it's on the far side of the field. The camera, like... Rather than... Like a broadcast camera zooming in on the far side, the whole camera, like, moves above the stadium. Like it's orbiting over the... over the top there. I love that. That happens so often. There's so many videos get ruined by... Me intercepting a pass I wasn't ready for, but I've already pressed B for the tackle, so they just grab a kick along the ground. I mean, is the AI doing anything? Is the AI doing anything here? It is just go left, wait to get tackled, pass right. Go left. Well, that time they went left twice. Where have all the little actual set plays gone that they did? They used to actually do some set plays. Like, they used to... Not well, but, like, I could at least let them through. Oh, this is brutal, this camera angle. I'm going to turn this off for the second half, just to let you... Like, it just... A little bit forwards, maybe. Let's try and... Like, what am I looking at? Why is the camera looking at the middle of the field? I'm looking at their 22 as, like, my main, like, focus, as opposed to very clearly in the middle as well. Interestingly, it is way easier to get through the AI team past the ball with this camera angle, similarly to what I used to say about the... Whoop. I like that they're going wrong a little bit more. What I used to say about, like, when you used to play end-on camera, for some reason you used to be able to find the gaps in the AI defense easier. And that's why I used to say, oh, playing on end camera is playing on easy mode, because it feels like the AI doesn't react well, because you can hit the gaps way easier. Like, every single time I do this, I feel like I just find a gap. Well, yeah, run back inside. Of course, it's what I would want, rather than be on my outside for me to hit that gap. And this has the same feeling. It's like, it doesn't seem to matter where I go. I'm just going to be able to hit this midfield gap because I have so much visual awareness of the field from up here. It makes it easy. Which I do remember once. I remember saying that the end camera's like playing on easy mode, and someone in the comments got very annoyed at me and said, Mad Dragon, it's not that playing end on is easy mode. It's just playing on side camera is harder. I remember thinking, that is the same thing. I'm not saying this thing will make you rich, but I'm saying if you don't do it, you won't be rich. Like, that is what that means then. Why am I looking at the 22? This is... I can't imagine anyone actually playing like this. Oh, well, he didn't actually engage in the tackle at all. I honestly feel very, like... This game feels really, like, flat. Nothing's happening. Like, I'm not trying very hard, because I want to just sort of mess about and see what the AI do. They finally break the line. Oh, my fullback's not reacting. Good to know. I don't think there was anything on screen then to show me that I was apparently playing as my fullback. I was waiting for my fullback to run on screen. I didn't realise I'd been automatically swapped to my fullback there. And there was nothing on screen to display it. There's still a lot of offloads. It's just always the offload game. There's just nothing... There's nothing interesting about the attack. It is just run forwards till you're tackled, use offload. Nothing about that is interesting to me. They're not trying to work their way through, and because of the way that the defense is organised in this game, it's just this overpowered thing. And people have mentioned to me in the comment section, like, why do you not play more like online games? You should play more online. It's because of that. There just isn't a lot of fun in this game, which is such a shame. Because everything is just run into the tackle, offload, bump off. You can't do anything about the offload. You can't do anything about the bump off. So they just get through and score a try. And I don't mind the AI scoring the try. I want them to score tries. But it doesn't feel like they've earned anything. They just do stuff I can't stop. And they score a try. And on the flip side, I try to find ways to make tries look kind of interesting. I try some chip kicks. I try some grubber kicks. And they just teleport onto it. And I'm gonna have to change off this side camera. I cannot use this. It is horrendous. Look, give me my side camera back. Let me go back to about, where was it? There. I can't use that camera. It is all over the place. It is not looking. Like, I feel like they just need to kind of keep where the ball is as like a central focus when you're on that broadcast camera. It just feels like it's aiming at nothing. It feels really disconnected from what's happening in the game. But it is just a thing with this game. Unfortunately, it's just the way that Rugby 25 has gone. Is that as a lot of people are, and I think it's fair to have honest criticisms and honest things. Just if you just say like things are bad, it's not very, very helpful for the developers to try and work out what they want to try and improve on. But from doing like the Rugby Championship and from doing some of the other videos on the channel, like, I have noticed one of the things I am really struggling with in this game is an element of fun. It's very hard to like make fun stuff happen in this game, or to have stuff. I've enjoyed seeing that the TMO is back and they're making correct calls now, which is really nice to see. But like the AI can't do anything against that. Like, that's not me being good. I haven't just done something good there. I've just got to try against New Zealand as Samoa. I feel like I should be like bouncing, like, yes, man, what a great score. And it's not. I just ran in and offloaded. It's just cheap. I'm just cheating as much as they're going to cheat. And that's a real shame about the element that's just missing from this game, which is the element of fun. Kicking is easy. I like that they added in this new thing. I just still think the issue is having a big line that goes to the middle. Everything about this game is... Let it there be as many things to make it as easy as possible all the time. And I think that's such a shame. There's nothing that feels skill about it. There's nothing to make it good or bad. It's just run forwards and do stuff. And I've got a little bit of a story, because there's nothing to test. There's nothing to test. Nothing's happened. I don't like the side camera, that broadcast camera, but I already knew I wasn't going to like it, so not their fault. At least it's in the game for people who want it. I've not noticed any difference in the AI. In fact, I feel like the AI is worse than they were in the last update. But the other day, I went back on Rugby 2011. Had a couple of hours to kill, and I just didn't know what to do. I was like, you know what, I'm going to jump on Rugby 2011. For those, I'm sure most of you know, it is my favourite rugby game of all time. I know it's basically just Rugby 08, so you can put that in the same boundary with it, right? I have Rugby 2011 on the Xbox 360, and I just love getting back into that game. And I did doing a World Cup. Did a World Cup with Italy. I was like, let's just play as Italy. This will be fun to get involved with. Got put in a really tough pool, and I was like, man, this is going to be hard. I got South Africa, Argentina, and then like Georgia and Japan or something. I can't remember what the other two were. And I played this game, and I was like, man, I'm looking for... Maul's just broken still. Got the Maul issue where just nothing... I'm not pushing anything. And I basically jumped into this game and I was like, right, I've got a tough couple of games coming up. Won my first game against Georgia, managed to get my bonus point in that one. That was a good laugh, good warm-up game to get back into it, having not played it for months. and then went on to play Argentina. And, I played that game for hundreds, if not thousands of hours, and I thought I was going to be, amazing at that game. And Argentina beat me. And they beat me with an incredible try that oh my God, that I've never seen the AI do. And I couldn't believe what had just happened to me. I got absolutely nailed in it. Where basically the AI, in fact, I'll sort of see if I can give like an example. So let's pretend New Zealand is Argentina, right? So this is what they did to me. They passed left out here, but then kicked to the opposite wing. So they went this way and then kicked back down this side and got their winger onto the end of the ball, flush onto it. I'd moved my winger into the defensive line. A beautiful set play. I had nothing that could stop it. They passed one way. Felipe Contepomi kicked it back the other way into the far corner. I had no answer. And they scored a wonderful try. And they ended up, I could not get a score against them. And they beat me in that game. And I was like, they beat me in a terrific fashion. That looked fantastic on screen. It was fun to see. I was glad to lose. And as that tournament went on, I was playing Italy. I was like, my goodness, I've lost this game. This is going to be hard. So I went on to play against Japan. Could not get like my bonus point. And basically, I went into the final game. My final game was against South Africa. And, Rugby 2011 is a hard game. And I remember thinking, hang on, I've just realised the way the point system has worked and the rest of the games that have gone on. And basically, it required me that I was going to need to get a bonus point win versus South Africa as Italy. And I went in going, there's not a chance I'm doing this. I'm in desperate trouble. I'm not going to get through in this tournament. And I've lost in the most spectacular way. And I went on to play that game and astonishingly managed to get a bonus point win. Couldn't believe it. Actually played out of my skin. 2 tries a half. Both tries being scored in dead time. 86th minute and in 45th minute, at the end of the halves in order to manage to get it to work. Managed to get it and went on through the tournament. And I had so much fun achieving it and being able to get those tries, and it felt so good. And if you do it on the flip side, if I was playing that game and I got a try against New Zealand as Samoa, I'd be like, my God, what a game I'm having here. And then, but on the flip side, I'm sort of meandering around. I just feel so flat about this game, and it's so hard to be able to grasp that level of enjoyment. I don't know if anyone has noticed in the background with me rambling, because I've got nothing to talk about with the update as it is. But that's why I've done a bit of a story time there. Did anyone notice how much harder it was to get through the defensive line after I've swapped camera? I couldn't penetrate it at all getting through after going to side camera because the game plays differently. Get these subs on. 82nd minute. Time for a great sub. He's going to come on, watch Bowden Barrett. Slot this one over. And you know what? Yeah, 2 degrees right, but you know what? I'll do no power. Still got it over. It's fine. Bowden Barrett celebrating an incredible win. I sat down for an hour and played Rugby 2011. A game that came out 14 years ago. And in that hour, I experienced basically a set play I had never seen in 14 years of playing that game. I got beaten by the AI doing something brilliant. Genuinely, I had no answer for what they'd done. They outplayed me. Nothing was cheap. Nothing was cheating. I moved my winger. The AI noticed I moved my winger and kicked back against the grain to get onto their winger, who was really well positioned, got on the end of the ball and scored a try, and it felt great. And it led me to go on to have a tournament where I had to play out of my skin in order to manage to stay in. And it felt like you're sort of sitting there with Italy up against South Africa. You've got to have an incredible game. But then this game, you get over for a try with Samoa versus New Zealand, and you just walk it over. You just hand off people. You just offload. Oh, maybe the AI will do something. No, the AI just hands off or bumps off or offload. All the time. Everything just has this flat feeling. And it is something that I think is just truly missing. I don't know what the guys over at the Rugby 25 team is going to be able to do. I just don't know what they've got being given to them by Big Ant themselves in the background. I don't know what's being offered. Every week I see Rugby 26 update, and there's a wall of updates. Look at all these things. We've got pro team in. You can have all these free coins. You can do all. There's just endless updates coming out, and I read the updates on the FAQ page for Rugby League 26 as well, and there's still people complaining about that game. And I'm like, if they're complaining with all of those updates and all of these things going on, what have we got? What have we got over here? It's been 3 weeks since the last update. I didn't feel like the last update added a tremendous amount to it. In this one, patch notes on the screen, we've got post Ruck AI reaction timing. Just can't say I felt any different in that game. Nothing felt different. Either team can just march on with handoffs or offloads and just score tries. I just did it then. I just swapped over teams, whatever. Added new AI plays. Is there? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be antagonistic. I'm not trying to talk the game down. I'm just like, is there? Did we see any? The AI from a ruck. Pass left, about to get tackled, offloads right. I intercepted 3 of them in that game. Sometimes they went to hand. I just tackled that guy. They pass out the back, and that guy doesn't seem to know where he's going. If anything, I feel like AI plays have been lost. The New Zealand sometimes used to, it would look janky as hell, but they used to pass to like the first receiver, then pass wide once again. They used to try and get around you a bit. I feel like there's less plays involved. They're doing a lot more box kicks, but again, the box kicks are not finding touch from their own 22. They're not clearing their lines. They're not dropping the ball back into their own pocket and letting the number 10 kick the ball away. They're not attempting chip kicks over the top. They're not trying to grubber kick it past me. It is just pass the ball to the next guy, run it in, hand off, or offload. That's just all it is, and there's just not enough there to make this game like exciting, enjoyable, something you want to sit down and just put multiple, hours into it. And I can't even fathom doing a career at this point. There's just what is there in the career to do? I just can't see me wanting to play multiple games of this one after another. Like, because there's just no game feels that different to one another without you having to really go out of your way to force it to feel different and to play different. Added the broadcast camera. Yeah, the broadcast camera been added. I'm really glad for the people who wanted it. It's in the game for you. There you go. That big, eventually did hear that one and they put it in for you. I don't use broadcast camera. I won't ever use that camera again. I think it visually looks kind of weird. I don't even know if it's necessarily implemented correctly. Half the time the camera is looking at a piece of grass over there and the play is in this bottom corner and we're looking over here. It's like the main point of focus and it's barely on screen. If you go to the other side of the field, the camera like orbits the stadium and like moves over there somewhere rather than it feeling like it's zooming in to the action going on. Again, I still maintain the guys at Big Ant have told me I am wrong. I am insane for it. I think the game plays differently when you swap these camera angles. Again, first half of that game, as Samoa, as the lower rated team on that broadcast camera, how many times did I just break the line? Pass once, little offload, next receiver hits the line every single time. Second half, swap to side camera, really struggle to get through the defensive line. Changes immediately. I maintain there's something different about this game when you change the cameras and the way the AI bunches up or the way the AI can interact with the tackle system. Something is different in this game. Corrected ruck animations preventing additional participants. I've never experienced that one, so if any of you have, let me know down in the comment section. We did have that one, though, where I just added no one into the ruck and it just became unplayable, even though the AI had 5 people in and they didn't take it off me for whatever reason. Improved stability is something that I honestly, I don't remember the last time I had a crash in this game. It's been a long time. They're talking about these several items. Next week we'll get another one. Maybe this one was meant to be much bigger than what it is, but all those things didn't meet the cutoff point. So next week will be what we keep out for. And then, yeah, I just know. I don't even know what to say about this. Broadcast camera added, great. I don't like it. So, that's just my opinion. You guys might love it. Good for you. But I've taken nothing away from that. I've seen no AI set place and I've not seen any difference in timing. So I can't say I've noticed anything bar a new camera angle being added in the last 3 weeks. So, and not only that, but this update came out and they didn't even push it It's not on Steam. It doesn't say on Steam an update is out. It doesn't say on Facebook it's out. It's not said on Twitter it's out. Big Ant aren't sharing it. The CEO isn't posting it. Meanwhile, Rugby League 26 everywhere. Oh, Rugby League 26. Like, you know, you got to support the games. You know, I do feel for J&T and the team over at Rugby 25 because, you know, they're working with what they've got. And they're trying to make changes. They're trying to find ways to do stuff. But I don't know the background scenes, but it just feels like if you can't give the same amount of support to all your games, then a game will sink. It will struggle. And unfortunately, it's been Rugby 25. It just doesn't seem to have the same focus on it being pushed that Rugby League 26 did. And that game's still being complained about as well. I don't know. I don't know what to take away from this one, guys. Let me know down in the comment section. We'll wait for next week. Now that I know one is coming, I'll keep my own eyes open as to whether the update's out, because apparently it's not even going to say on social media anymore if they get the updates out. I don't know. And we'll get into it. I've seen a lot more comments recently and a lot of people that have really crashed on this game. You know, content creators and subscribers alike, I think are really struggling to be able to pull something from this game, and that's a shame, because I just think back to what we all hoped Rugby 25 would be back when it was Rugby 24, before it came out, and I sat down with Bears Gamer and we did all the videos, and we sat down on the podcast, and we got Crashball TV on, we did the Rugby Gamer Network podcast, and we went over like our thoughts and stuff, and it was just, man, you know, Rugby 25 was meant to be this. I think we were all so prepared for it to be a big revitalization of like rugby union gaming. You know, we all talk about these games that are 20 years old as the best games of all time for rugby and stuff. I really think Rugby 25 could have been. I think it could have been. You look at what's in Rugby 25, is what's the most annoying thing about it. Look at what it contains. It has a Six Nations. It has all these tournaments. You have a career mode, which again feels flat, but Women's Six Nations, they're going to do the Women's Rugby World Cup. They've got all the different tournaments. They've got 140 licensed teams, kits, players. They've got face scans of players. They've got a community hub full of people who spend hours designing logos, teams, players. I cannot tell you the joy it is for me as someone making content on this game when we do like the Rugby Championship and South Africa or New Zealand change their entire team lineup to a bunch of people that have their debuts, and I go, I don't even know who these people are making their debut. And I go, they're not going to be in the game. Of course they're not going to be in the game. You go onto the community hub and somebody's already made that player, and I can just download them and put them in my team, update my own rosters as and when I need to, and play the game with them. And it allows me to make that content that I think is fun and more sort of respective of what's actually going on in the real world of rugby. That is fantastic. That is great. But then you sit down and play a game. And it's just rough. Like, I've just finished playing that game of Samoas. I don't even know what happened. I don't even care. It just doesn't matter. You know, there's nothing to take away from it. It wasn't an enjoyable experience. There wasn't fun to be had in that. I just swapped teams and scored a try with whatever team, and you just sort of run it over, and that's such a shame. I don't know what they will do. I don't know, because Rugby 25 has also not been received well. Right? Like the reviews on everything are bad. And I think, like, what did Big Ant do? Because I assume they've got all these licenses for a couple of years. You know, will they do a Rugby 26? I can't imagine so. They might do like a Rugby 27. But so much needs to be built on and worked on. I've put it on the FAQ page a few times. Like, I would sacrifice every license in a rugby game to have core fundamental mechanics be as tight as possible, just to have a game that feels unbelievable to play. You know, I literally played the mini rugby, that like arcadey sevens game, and it's like a little silly indie game about rugby, like sevens, and you're just using the mouse and stuff. Like, it's made by two guys, And they have no licenses, they have no grounds to make anything, you know, crazy. They haven't got a budget of, you know, £50 million or anything to make, you know, just throw into a game or anything. But the game is fun. I had a good laugh with it, and I got in. And I was like, this is good fun to get involved with. There's a couple of interesting mechanics. You can swap, you can throw interesting like loop passes or miss passes. You can run different like set plays within the game. You can shift how your players are based around the ruck. There was lots of other little things you could do. It just Rugby 25 feels like it's a little bit empty from all of that stuff, and I just really hope if they do go on to make another rugby game, whether it's Rugby 27, sorry, the gameplay is the #1 principle. Just dump all of the money into gameplay development, testing, mechanics, working with World Rugby to understand the rules and how they're implemented, and go over all the various different outcomes of different things that can happen, and things can go wrong, and test wild things that people like me are going to do for funny moments on YouTube. Test to see if they break or if something goes wrong, and make sure it's tight. And I just don't know what else to say about this game. We'll wait and see what next week brings. I'm sorry it's a ranty thing. I just see the whole community around like the Rugby 25 and Rugby Gaming and all that. It's just feeling so flat. And it's such a shame. I think Rugby 25, I honestly, from the very beginning, I was like, I absolutely think Rugby 25 or 24 had the legs to be the best rugby game of all time. And just so much effort was put into the kits and the face scans and all the rest of it. That's just like, this isn't what makes the game good. This isn't what makes any game good. So I don't know. That's my takeaways, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the update in the comment section. We'll see you next week for hopefully something big, maybe. Who knows? We'll see how it gets on. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye bye.